to your left, center, inhale, exhale, hands up, reach down, 1, 2, 3, to your right, to your left, center, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands up, reach down, 1, 2, 3, to your right, to your left, center, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands on your waist, circular movements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, cross, knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Hands on your waist. Neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Rotating. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Center. Hands up, pull in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, spread your feet. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, we'll stretch it out a little. Switch. switch, 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 straighten the front knee, switch, 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 okay, center, okay, shake it out, deep breathing, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, hands to your waist, shoulder roll. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Okay, press, release, exhale, inhale. 1. and stop. Deep breathing, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay. Wrists. Okay, reverse. Okay, palms down. Bigger circle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, shake it out. Okay, let's go from side to side. Shift the weight, balance. So you can actually feel it as you shift in the joint, and then you feel finding a position, then you go up. Switch, switch. And center. Okay, alternate the shoulders like this. Then we'll kick in the right leg. And center. Other side. If you turn your shoulders a little, you can track your center line a little better, mainly because you're aiming toward this imaginary line. Okay, shake it out. Then we're going to go from side to side. center, switch. And center. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so grilling. Okay, switch. And center. Okay, open and close. Switch. And center. Okay, circular movements, feet parallel. And center. Okay, lower hoop. Shoulder height. Okay, elbows down. Okay, lower. Palms down. Extend. Okay, fingertips up. Deep breathing. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, diagonal flying. Switch. Okay, center. Cloud hands. Okay, palms down. Lift up, carry tiger to the mountain. Okay, infinity sign. Okay, form the fists. Okay, palms together, strum the lute. Okay, center, thumbs up, alternate the shoulders. And switch. And center. Draw the bow. Okay, fan to the back. Okay, raise the hand. And down. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, we'll go through the sequence. And feet parallel. Want to try? Want to try? Short form, yeah. You can just follow along. You can, yeah, all right. You want to go on this side, and then we can flip around a little. Yeah. Actually, let's do the linear form, and we'll just do everything to the front so we can identify the postures. So just follow along. It's left side, press forward, sit back, toe out, step up, flip the hand, move to the right side, grasp the sparrow's tail, hook your wrists, toe out, open the stance, single whip. Okay, hold the ball, shift, diagonal flying, shift, step up, press forward, raise the hand, stork flaps wings. Okay, then the next movement is going to be a step up, left side to brush knee 4 times. Brush knee first time, second time, third time is on the right, left, step up, then back to the right. Neutral position, turn to the right, palm up vertical, close the door, form the fist, and punch. Step up left, punch, sit back, divert, block, punch, cross the arms, leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Then we go to neutral, turn to the right, lower the arms, stroke out, fist under elbow. Then we start to go backwards with repulse the monkey. We're going to go backwards, left side first. So we do 3 of these. We'll go one more time to the left. And with neutral right side, hold the ball, step up, and we're going to do the diagonal flying. That's facing that way. Face back to the mirror, toe in, insert the needle, step to the side, fan through the back. So we see ourselves like this, and we turn, stroke down, parry and punch. Okay, then we know this is step up and punch, so that's just a repeat. And then we carry tiger to the mountain. This is actually leopard and tiger springs to the mountain. So we're going to just turn, go to the other side. Okay, bring the hands down, turn. Now we're going to face the front mirror again. Carry tiger to the mountain. So all these movements will be on the left side now. Left hand up, bend from the waist, stork flaps wings. Okay, then we step up, left side grasp the sparrow's tail. Hook your wrists, left side single whip. Hold the ball, reverse the ball. Now we're going to toe out like this. Step up the diagonal flying. Okay, let's step back. Well, I'll step back anyways. Okay, then we're going to sit back to neutral again. Stroke down. Hold the ball. Part the horse's mane. We step up again. Right side. Stroke down. Part the horse's mane. Then we cross over to the left. 1, 2 in the corner. Jade Lady work shuttle. Cross over, Jade Lady work shuttle. Then we drop the elbow, hook the wrist, and we're going to step up and go into single whip. Turn to cloud hands. 1, step, 2, step out 3, pivot to 4, hook your wrists. Hold the ball, reverse, diagonal flying, and that's all the postures in the Tai Chi Paradigm. So But, it's essentially the form. When you start off, it's the front, that section, then everything kind of happens that way and this way. So that's why I call it the linear form, because once you face this way, you have most of the movements, so. Yeah. Yeah, so it's easy. Yeah, so that's the left side, yeah. So like if you go like this to the 90-degree position, we hold the hands like that in the 90, and we drop the elbows. That's your elbow position. Then you turn the palms out. So if you hook your wrists on this side, that's single whip on this side. If you hook your wrists on this side, it's the single whip on that side. So we spread the feet. That's the only difference, is that. Now, whenever the palms up, that's the side that goes in and down. If this is the palm up, then this side goes in. So, right. So this is hooked. This is your left side single whip. This is your right side single whip. And once you're in this position, depending on which is the bottom hand, that's the one that goes up. So we create this, then this becomes a diagonal flying. But we usually don't step up on this side, except for if you're teaching it, then you do the mirror. It's always stepping up with the right foot. And we go forward, and then raise the hand. But the good thing is when you kind of watch yourself, you know if your hands are kind of pretty close to everyone else's. It's about eyebrow level. When we're in this position, we're like this, triangle. If we have one of these and you turn to the corner, that's Jade Lady Work Shuttle. If you switch to the other side, this is just the final positions. And then when we go to this position, so the geometry of positions is triangles, circles, squares, 45-degree corners, palms together, lower hoop, shoulder height, eye level, cross hands, open, square push, down to the hips, fingertips thrusting up, back to here, turn the palms out, hook your wrists, bring it to center, insert the needle is just up and down like this. Both hands down, invert the hands, make your fists, elbows out, back fist, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the stroke for the parry and punch. So both hands working together, it's fairly easy, no turning of the waist. But if we do a turn, it would be like this. If we go to the other side, it would be like this. But typically it's just on the right side, so when you turn, your arms fold, and then this hand ends up by the elbow. You stroke down, you fold, and you end up in this position. So, I call it manipulation of skeletal structure. So if you understand how to move your elbows horizontal, vertically, and directionally slanted, then you really only have to deal with the center line and the two corners, because everything is relative to this position. It doesn't matter where you go, it's always the same. So when we work the linear form, you're really focusing on this image, which is only this space. So in other words, if we go like this is your center line. If we turn to this corner and we do this, that's brush knee. If we turn to this corner, then it's brush knee. So that's the upper body. But what we have to begin to understand is when we're in this position and we turn to 45, and then we lean forward and back. So because we have to have volume in space, this hand, because this knee is going to end up here. So between here and here is that range. So if we're turning like this and we bring the hand down, you have to go toward the full range and then end up like this. Otherwise, your hands will end up close to the body and you're like this. So what you have to do is both hands are tracking. Now when this hand comes down, there's a gapping here, and the gap stays open to here, and then the elbow starts to drop, and then you push out. So that's what a brush knee motion should be. Okay. Now on the opposite side, it's the same. You have to reach toward the front knee, then when the elbow's out, it kind of comes back to the vertical position. So essentially what you're doing is when you press down like this, there's a horizontal elbow, right? When you bring your hands like this, the elbows are drawn back in to create the vertical elbow position. That's out and in, right? So there's a dimensional change here that does that. So what happens when you do that is you relax your shoulder. Now if you don't relax your shoulder, then it's going to end up like this. So then there's stiffness here. But when you relax the shoulder, it resets to this. So what we're learning to do is learn to manipulate the skeleton, not use much strength, and at the same time create good circulation. And your body becomes much more inclined to use less strength. So that's a brush knee movement. Repulse the monkey is the same hand movement. Insert the needle is this up and down movement. So between this up and down movement and this parry and punch movement, it becomes that vertical line. Now because we're on the center line and we do this, then when we step forward, we track that center line, invert the hand, turn, and then this hand comes down, and the other hand drops so that you have a relaxed position like this. So this elbow drops down because you're relaxing the shoulder. So it's parry and punch. Infinity sign is divert and block. So because we're doing two here, when we step out, it's still two with no turning, right? Once you work on one side, then the waist becomes part of the movement. So what happens is these two infinity signs ends up centering. So now the cross part is in your center line, the sternum. And then you punch where the center is. And you go out, and there's your center line. Then we move out, move across the center, and then you create the other side. So there's balance and movement. So everything we're doing is tracking the movements, defining the spaces. So proprioception, spatial awareness, all of this stuff has to do with how your body moves through these spaces. Now when we're doing this, that's the infinity sign. We have both hands moving simultaneously across and across like this. Now one is following the other. One is following the other, right? So this is in the frontal plane, but you really can't do movements in the frontal plane and have it completely parallel to the wall once you turn the corner. Because your spine is like the vertical axis to a circle or a cylinder. So if I'm rotating from here and my hands are here, it's going to get shorter or longer and shorter. So when I do this, they've got longer or shorter, right? As a figure eight. Oh, sorry. Well, I contained it. Anyways, So I'm here. If I did this, that's that piece of movement. This, 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 to go up here, right? So you know, after snakes sticks out tongue, this hand does this. This hand goes in front of it, and then you end up like this. Then you turn as you pull down, then you lift up, and you go to cross hand to golden cockerel. Then you come down toward the center, and you poke and kick. This goes up, and this goes back, and then you reverse. So that's the golden cockerel in the long form, but it's one of the postures that we seem to have trouble because of this and because of this. So this is the upper part. This is the pull down. This is the lift, cross hand, and this is the separation to this. This is the press down, the kick, and the drawback. And then we go back to neutral, and then we end up doing this. So they're just patterns in space, one hand following the other. So over here, it goes 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what we have to strive for, to get all the geometry of positions and get all that happening. So it's really structures. It's the geometry of position, it's the vertical, it's the horizontal, it's the circles, referencing your body. Everything is referenced to your body because you could develop accuracy of motion, because the proportions of movement and you're using your body, it's like your own universe. So within your universe, you have your spaces. And when you're working with space, then you can develop accuracy of motion. And functionality comes from knowing how to manipulate your skeleton to create effective movements on the functionality side, but also efficiency. You know, you're moving your joints the way they're designed to move. You don't force it, and it's done slowly. So if you do something that's not right, you're not going to hurt yourself because it's slow. But fast movement, the tendency is to do it, and if there's a little bit of excessiveness, you could injure the ligament or tendon. So the thing is, you know, if you balance your structure, which is the center line and the hoops, then your spine wants to develop verticalness. You learn to stack your body so you find centering. You let your ligaments and tendons relax so that they find more of the alignment of body. When the body is aligned, then it takes a lot less effort. And then if you go to these positions often enough, your body knows to delete any of the excessiveness that typically you would use, because the body doesn't know. Actually, the body doesn't know anything. It's all information is housed here. And what gets the body to function and work is the motor neurons and information that's being fed up in your brain. And all that information gets sorted out, and all the files that you use in your computers is the same thing up here. It's stored as a file, and you have enough files, those files start to interact with each other, they read to each other, there's feedback, and then there's response. And then at the end of it, your movements become very efficient and actually natural. You don't have to force it. Okay, so we can try the long form if you want now. Yeah, we'll go through the long form. Okay, ready? Okay. Okay. Okay, Rob, you can stand there. Yeah. Okay, ready? Preparation. Begin. Do nice and slow. Shift your weight. Oops, sorry. Jumped the gun. Okay, good. Deep breathing. Take about 15 minutes or so. You want to do something? You want to work on something? Hey. Oh, Arthur doesn't do so. Well, I mean, we want to practice that. You could do it, but if you want to do anything in the form you wanted to review, anything?
It all needs help, so it's flip a coin wherever it lands on the pattern.
Yeah. So how you feeling with it? Any you know, you feel more comfortable?
As long as both feet are on the ground, I feel a lot better. There's one foot on the ground,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a struggle.
Yeah, it's you know, it takes time, evolves. I did a streaming class this morning. We had Nan and Mara in it. Oh, actually, yeah, we're streaming. It's a live class, but we're still streaming it. What did you wear on your? What did the back of the shirt say? They got a full bird's eye view of that. Oh, okay. So they got that. So a few people pulling in, right? Who's out there? Yeah. So you know, I did that actually this morning with that, and I actually brought into the fact that when you're doing your forms in the beginning, you break it up into this blocky form, and the form is a vehicle to practice your postures. Really, it's just a book of movement, and you use it to practice, you know, the different concepts. You know, people say, oh, they have this form and that form and that form. Actually, it's all the same. Sequentially, it's practically the same. Some maybe minute stylistic differences. So they say, well, there's this type of form, you know, block form, the flowing form, the integrated form, the spiraling form, the fast form. They're all essentially, basically, just a different execution, that's all. But once you get past the block form, because if you try to do the spiraling or any of the like fluid form, the movements would be all structurally not sound, because people that are actually first learning, they don't know anything about it, so they're just mimicking movements. So you would see movements that are maybe really extreme or reaching, so that's what you end up seeing because the body doesn't know. So we have to actually build the foundation, which is really your structure, your integrity, the geometry of positions. Then once you have that, if you wanted to, say we're working toward the mirror, and you want to start your form off and bring in some fluidity, then the integration of the movement becomes much more tied together. Now we did it, say, to the front, just as a linear form, working toward fluidity. You could see that you open, so you really can't tie your movements together in a fluid motion until your body actually becomes comfortable moving through space independently but yet united together, because you have to go through each and every one of the nuances or positions to reach your destination and still maintain a certain amount of continuity with structure. So your body really has to go through a true understanding of what your end goal is, and it just becomes quite fluid. So you have to go through your vertical and your horizontal positions depending on how you're directing the movement, right? This is strum the lute. Form the fist and punch. Okay, if you were carrying tiger to the mountain, you would turn and end up facing this way. But so let's just do carry tiger to the mountain. We know it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, depending on which one you're doing. But when you integrate the movement, you just finish leopard and tiger springs, you sink down, then the body becomes buoyant and it becomes forward and back and cross and down. And then your body will start to move into the next position. And then it moves into the next position. And then you're in the next position and it blends to grasp the sparrow's tail again. And then you turn all the way to the front. So movements have to blend, but it has to have a continuity, and then it has to have compatibility and compatible motions. That it's all directional, but it's the feet moving in the direction you're supposed to be going. Is the torso moving to create and set up the next position? So all I did was sustain my position all the way around, but you're maintaining a structure for the integrity of your position so that when you move, you're always structurally sound. So that's the big challenge. Huh?
There's a question on that. So
Yeah.
a lot of the movements, when you're here and you come back, you could bring the hand around, you can bring the hand straight up, or you can kind of blend it. It seems
Yeah.
like sometimes
So,
it's blended.
so when you're doing a form like this, it's not one that you could do in a group setting, because everybody would be randomizing, going into their own mode. So when you're practicing, you can make as, say brush knee. Okay, here's a variation of brush knee. You're like this. So you can see that I'm not really passing through this position per se as I'm holding. That's defining your geometry of position and manipulation of your skeletal structure, so you have structure, integrity, and that these movements. But when you're doing this and I'm here, this is also brush knee. This is also brush knee. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It depends how many revolutions you're doing, but it depends on how much your body is moving. Because if the body's moving in sync, for every action above, there has to have action below. So those have to actually be working in this synchronized way. Because once your body's synchronized, just like your transmission, doesn't matter how fast you go, it has to stay integrated. Because if it's missing a tooth in your gear, then it's going to create a clunk at a certain point. So when you're doing your movements, once you know this, then it doesn't matter that you know that it's going to be here, you know it's going to be here, and where it happens to here or here, then your body will know that this is what's going on. So that's it's a function of understanding that concept, and then when you practice it, you can experiment and then see if you have integrity, see if you have structure, see if you have voids in your movement, and then you build off of that, so your body starts to become even more, aware. It's more of a consciousness.
I mean, it's such a simple thing. Everyone talks about you should bring this arm up and go here. Well, some people bring it around, some people bring it.
Yeah, but even bringing it around, this is the basic motion. But if you bring it around, your elbows are out, that's not good. You bring it around, so you bring it around depending on if you're turning. If you're here, if I'm here, if I'm here, those are all directions of motion, and it really depends on application, really. So this is strum the lute. So if I'm here, then this becomes my strum the lute. if I want to turn to this side, then this becomes strum the loot. If I go like this and you're coming across, this is not, because it's up here, then this becomes strum. So that's sinking. If I go like this, then this becomes moving in, right? So how you do this and this, so here's this, right? So I stay connected because here. There, right? So it depends on where you're going with the movement, because that's that. That's that. That's that. So all of these are just sort of patterns, but they're an offshoot of, that's like freestyle, but it's because your body becomes free. So that's, it's kind of called imagery and no imagery, whole imagery, half posture, partial posture, combination of your posture, and the combination of your posture is really the combination of the geometric shapes. That's the combination of, for J Lady Work Shuttle. Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Those are all variants of the same movement. So between what you do in water form, what you do in press, those are just the same shapes with a different intent of the movement. When you go like this or you go like this, when you go like this, that's really essentially the same motion, but you're vertical and horizontal. That you can't really avoid. That becomes, the movements are systemic throughout, vertical and horizontal and oblique. But it's really dimensional, so dimensional meaning we think of 8 spaces as a plane of motion, but that's only on the flat surface. What about the 8 that's up there, and the 8 that's over there, and the 8 that's over there? You get 64 of those. Or maybe there's more when you blend them all together. So, you do the permutations. You can say, you won't be able to figure out how many you have, but then how many of those do you need? All right, we can go. On that note, see you next week. So Wu Bao, virtual bow. Okay, good. We're ready to, next class. Okay, oh, there he is. Carell, Justin. So we're gonna line up. Okay, so let's see, yeah. Eric, want to do a few?